Hi everyone! Today I get to listen to a band which I've heard quite a few of you mention along the way, and so I get the feeling it's kind of a big band or popular band. That is Linkin Park. So this is my first listen to them, and the piece is going to be Breaking the Habit. Well, actually just a few moments ago I said, what are we listening to now? And Vlad said, Breaking the Habit. And I said, that's a strange name for a band. He said, no, that's the piece. It's Linkin Park. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So let's see what I have to read about them, and then I will listen. Linkin Park is an American rock band formed in Agoura Hills, California in 1996. Categorized as alternative rock, Linkin Park's earlier music spanned a fusion of heavy metal and hip-hop. That's kind of a stretch, while their later music features more electronica and pop elements. Linkin Park rose to international fame with their debut studio album Hybrid Theory in 2000, which became certified diamond by the RIAA. Linkin Park is among the best-selling bands of the 21st century and the world's best-selling music artists, having sold over 100 million records worldwide. I guess they are kind of big. They have won 2 Grammy Awards, 6 American Music Awards, 2 Billboard Music Awards, 4 MTV Video Music Awards, 10 MTV Europe Music Awards, and 3 World Music Awards. And in 2003, MTV2 named Linkin Park the 6th greatest band of the music video era and the 3rd best of the new millennium. Ooh. Billboard ranked Linkin Park number 19 on the Best Artists of the Decade list. In 2012, the band was voted as the greatest artist of the 2000s in a Bracket Madness poll on VH1. In 2014, the band was declared as the biggest rock band in the world right now by Kerrang! Breaking the Habit is the 9th track from their 2nd studio album, Meteora. And it became the 5th consecutive single from Meteora to reach number 1 on the Billboard Modern Rock Tracks chart, a feat unmatched by any other artist in the history of that chart. It was also the 3rd single from the album to reach number 1 on the Mainstream Rock Tracks chart. The song also peaked at number 20 on the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified gold by the RIAA. So, obviously, this band is, at least was, at one point, a big deal. And this piece was kind of a big deal too. So I'm curious to see. Well, this is 90s again. 2000s. Definitely after the era of Beatles, Queen, Pink Floyd. That's long past by now. So since they are considered definitely in the rock genre, I'm curious to see what became such a big deal at this point. Will I like it? I have no idea. We're about to find out.
Try to start again. I don't want to be the one the battles always choose, 'cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream. I don't know why I instigate and say what I don't mean. I don't know how I got this way. I know it's not alright, so I'm breaking the habits. I'm breaking the habits tonight. Watching my cure, I tightly lock the door.
You know, it's interesting to me to listen to these lyrics because, right, remember the 90s were kind of a depressed attitude in a lot of the rock music. I understand this is just after the 90s, kind of moving into 2000, but it sounds kind of linked still to the 90s, that mindset. At the same time, it's interesting to see that and hear that in this piece of music, it's not all depression and angst and you know, I'm the freak, I'm the weird one, I'm not happy about life, myself, or anything. It's starting to give a little bit more of a positive vibe. Still, it's talking about, okay, I'm always the one that... I understand that I'm the one that's confused. It's not just the world is a dreadful place. It's, I understand that I'm confused, that I'm messed up. Everyone assumes I'm okay, but I know I'm not okay. And then it starts talking about, let's be proactive. I'm going to break the habit tonight. That's an interesting thing to see showing up in the music at this point in the history of rock. Also, it's interesting to see what they're doing with the rhythmic elements. I'm not talking about the drums beating in the background, but this, just like at the beginning here. Well, okay, let's hear this beginning for a moment. So we have this sort of almost like a helicopter beating its way in, and then a little bit more scratching sound. And that's immediately carried on by the drums. It's a nice kind of relay race between one to another to another, and it's giving a good sequential progression. And then of course this comes in. I noticed that at the beginning, and then I'm noticing it again here. Again, the way the instrumentation is kind of doing some nice little simple but well-placed, well-organized, rhythmic salt and pepper.
I tightly lock the door. I try to catch my breath again.
And then there's bum 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 bum, which is something that's been going on all along, along with dee 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 dee, and the two kind of stacked one on the other, even though each one is such a simple little figure. As they're stacking on each other, it adds a feeling of complexity and dimension in this piece.
I tightly lock the door. I try to catch my breath again. I heard much more than any time before.
So
I
you
had
know
no
the
options
activity in
left
the music here.
again.
And then here's the
I don't
strings
want to
sweeping
be the
behind.
one the battles always choose. 'Cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream. I don't know why I instigate and say what I don't mean.
And then, as this complexity has been building, then as he gets to this line, I don't know what's worth fighting for, we feel it kick up a notch. The pitch becomes higher. Everything starts to. It's as if someone said, "All right, this was good. Let's turn it up now."
'Cause inside I realize that I'm the one confused. I don't know what's worth fighting for, or why I have to scream. I don't know why I instigate and say what I don't mean. I don't know how I got this way. I'll never be
Actually, suddenly in this moment, I'm not sure whether this is a positive piece or not. It almost feels like there's a much darker subtext here. Although the music doesn't give a lot of that away. But as I followed the lyrics, okay, maybe this isn't all quite as hopeful as I thought it might be. Lines like, I don't know how I got this way. I'll never be all right. So I'm breaking the habit tonight. Well, breaking the habit could have rather a dark meaning, couldn't it? To be specific, it almost sounds suicidal. Well, again, I'm not watching the movie that goes with it, so I don't know exactly what the message is, but although the music has a more upbeat, positive vibe to it, the lyrics still have kind of a dark subtext. And the question is, which way should we take it? Could we take it multiple ways? Is this really a positive, okay, I understand, I'm not all right, I'm confused, so it's time for me to take action. I don't have to be all right in order to take action. I'm going to break this habit tonight. Or is it the flip side, the dark story? I don't know, just from this. But the music became more hopeful as we moved through. These little melodic figures, dum bum 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 dum, they don't give much away. They're not really dark sounding, but they're also not terribly imaginative, creative, exploratory, and they're not being used like that. But as the music progressed, we heard layer upon layer, texture upon texture, and as I said, that started to give it more of a multidimensional feel and more activity, more life, more energy, more hopefulness. That is what was coming out to me in the music. And then as it picked up in, it rose higher in pitch, also the energy increased a bit. Well, that makes me think, okay, maybe they've got some glimmer of positive action in their life coming up. But then at the end, the music doesn't really give it away. And the lyrics, as I said, they have a dark side to them. So this is another one where, yeah, the video could be helpful in kind of fitting together what really is the message of this song. Although it is possible it is one of those pieces where it can have multiple messages. A piece of music, a piece of art, doesn't have to say just one thing. And in fact, most of the great, what have come to be considered the great or the greatest works of art, in whatever medium, are usually works of art which, rather than projecting, communicating one single message, they tend to more make us reflect on ourselves and explore different avenues within ourselves, within the world. They can sometimes be interpreted multiple ways, at least applied in multiple ways. And so we don't have to know exactly the message that perhaps the producers had in mind for this song. It's kind of nice to have it a little bit ambiguous and to look at these lyrics and think, all right, what is it really saying to me? What am I hearing from this person? And that's another thing which is worth thinking about, because as we know, at least in America here, and this always drives Vlad crazy. Hi, how are you doing today? Fine, how are you? Good, great, nice to see you. Bye. It's the habit, it's the culture, it's the way we relate. It's just a form of greeting, but it reflects a shallowness. The fact that we can ask somebody, how are you doing? And we simply expect them to reply, I'm fine. And we automatically reply, I'm fine too. And it doesn't matter if we're fine or not. What does fine actually mean? As my dad used to say, I'm fine as frog's hair. Well, there you go. Or what about that t-shirt that has a picture, it's got some printing on it, and it's got blood splattered everywhere, and what appears to be a bullet hole or a stab wound, and blood pouring out, and in big block letters it says, I'm fine. That's kind of the way we Americans have fallen into relating to each other. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what the producers wanted to convey, but what I'm hearing here, what I'm feeling here, sensing here, is that this is a good reminder of just because somebody says to you, especially in America, I'm fine, means absolutely nothing. As it said at the beginning, you all assume I'm safe here in my room. He's in his room. He's safe. No problem. Nothing can happen to him there. You all assume I'm safe here in my room. I'm fine. I'm cool, man. I'm talking to my friends. I'm hanging out in my room where I like to with my headphones, my technology, whatever I like to do in my room. Perhaps I actually am bleeding to death. Perhaps I feel as if I've been stabbed. Perhaps I am about to do something which nobody wants to have happen. Don't assume that the people you relate to in your everyday are fine, even if they say so. Look into the eyes when you meet somebody. Sure, how are you doing today? And perhaps they will say fine, and you don't have to argue with them. But look into their eyes. Look deeper. Be open. And be willing to see the truth. Be willing to accept the truth of what you find. Be willing to take it and then choose how to relate to it. What could you do? You can't always do something. But when you look in somebody's eyes, it makes a connection. It changes, even if you don't say a word. To feel that you have been seen makes all the difference in the world. Well, there we have Linkin Park breaking the habit. Let's break this habit of I'm fine. I really don't care if you're fine or not. I don't care if I'm fine or not. Let's break this habit of fine, fine, fine. Let's see each other. I'll see you soon.